This is the basic seating position for classical guitar playing. The left leg is elevated, while the right foot is flat on the ground. The guitar rests on the left leg and on the inside of the right leg, with the right arm situated on the outer curve, not the inner curve, not like this, but out here, like this. If you're sitting this way, you don't actually need the left hand at all to hold the guitar. It should feel comfortable enough just with these 3 points of contact. Then you should be sitting up straight and bringing your chest towards the instrument. So you should not be sitting back like this, rather sitting forward so that the guitar is in contact with your chest. Not hard contact, but it's still resting against it slightly. You notice that the situation is diagonal. The guitar is not flat on my lap. I'm not holding it like this. I'm also not holding it over my right leg like this. When I do bring the left hand up, I place the thumb behind the neck, not up here, and I do not grab the neck of the guitar with my left hand. In fact, the thumb touches the back of the neck, and the only other part of my hand that touches the neck are the fingertips, which will push down on the strings when it's necessary to play. Here's a close-up of the right hand. Notice that I'm situating the hand just behind the sound hole. We don't necessarily want to be all the way up over the frets, but we also don't want to be so far down that we're close to the bridge. Somewhere in between is just about right. And usually I like to be just at the bottom of the sound hole, so right around here. Not too far up here, not too far down here, but right about here. Notice the fingers are more or less up on the tips, so they're not laying flat. And the reason for this is because the wrist dictates our ability to play with the fingers. So my wrist is arched, meaning there's a curvature here, and it's not flat against the guitar. If the wrist is flat against the guitar, it's very difficult to switch fingers or to alternate fingers without having to pull up too much. That makes it much harder on the hand. Whereas if we're here, we can alternate fingers like this. So what you'll see from this angle is that the wrist is arched. There's room for the fingers to pull up but also inward. They're not pulling up like this. In other words, I'm not getting this kind of tight motion here. Instead, I'm pulling up but also inwards, enough that the hand stays pretty much relaxed. So if I'm playing on the first string, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Now you'll notice that I kept the thumb down for support. It's also good to be able to do this without the thumb down for support, like this. Now what you're seeing is called free stroke. That is because the fingers are pulling up and in freely. They're not resting on the next string. So we're not doing rest stroke. This would be a rest stroke. Notice how I rest on the next string. That's not what we're doing. We're doing a free stroke. Same thing. If we were playing with all 4 fingers, P, I, M, and A, we would situate them on strings. They can all play freely, and so that they're not stopping the next string or resting on the next string. This is free stroke. Now I'll provide a close-up of the left hand. Like I said before, the thumb is placed behind the neck, here. Not here, not coming up over the neck like this. It should be behind the neck. And then, when the hand gets ready to play on the strings, there should be no touching of the hand against the neck. There should be enough space so that the fingers can be curved and so that we can play on the fingertips. Not like this, not like this, definitely not like this, but thumb behind the neck, fingers on fingertips. In this angle of the left hand, you can see there is always space between the hand and the neck of the guitar. Sometimes we'll get in closer, but other times we'll be further away. But we're definitely never holding on to the side of the neck with the hand. Shouldn't be in contact with the side of the neck like this. We don't want to be clutching it like this on the side. Instead, with enough space, the fingers are curved, and when I place them on the strings, I'm only pushing with the fingertips. And notice the placement is just behind the fret. The fret is the metal bar that goes across the neck. When I place the finger down, I'm not placing it here or here, but rather right here, just behind the fret. Likewise, and again, and finally. That placement allows us to use the least amount of pressure to still get a clear sound. So notice as I put all 4 fingers down, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same thing goes for any other string. First string, second string, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Notice as I go across the neck, sometimes I have to get up a little bit higher to make sure that I'm still placing the fingers on the fingertips. But in any case, I'm keeping the hand in this general position at all times.